Your seat has to, you know, do all the work instead. And that's the way it should be anyway. Welcome to Pro Tip Tuesday. My name is Sally and today I'm going to give you some tips on how to prevent the horse curling. You know, when they come round and come behind the contact and behind the vertical. So that's what we're going to talk about today. And you know, by the end of this video, you should have a number of tips and tools to help you prevent your horse curling. Whether you're starting out or a seasoned competitor, these tips are for you. I've helped hundreds of riders do the same thing, so let's get started on Pro Tip Tuesday. So the curling horse, you know, you've all seen it, you might even have one of your own. You know, when you've got your contact on, the horse, you know, drops its head and the chin starts to come towards the chest, and you feel like, it can feel like you don't have any steering. It can feel like there's, you know, not much in front of you and you don't have much control, and it, you know, it's undesirable and isn't going to win you any marks in the dressage arena. So a curling horse often curls to hide behind the contact. And the other thing a curling horse does, it's you know, avoiding the contact and it's often avoiding the seat as well. So your contact has to be, you know, superb. You want to make sure that you can always keep that rein, that connection between your hand and the horse's mouth. A horse will often curl to, at least start the curl to, you know, drop the rein and drop the contact and achieve a loop in the rein. You know, that's often a great way to resist the rein and resist the contact. So you want to make sure that doesn't happen by having an elastic elbow that's always keeping that contact, you know, that rein nice and you know, taut at a 2 out of 10, or with a curling horse probably a 1 out of 10 pressure on the bit. And you want to make sure you know, that it doesn't matter what way you're going, your elbows have to work independently. You have to be able to maintain that connection with the bit. Okay, so if you've got a horse that is just starts to curl and you're not really quite sure what to do, you want to squeeze them out of it. You want to squeeze with your leg, a very gentle calf, but you know, a calf that is gentle but assertive, that isn't going away if the horse doesn't come out of this position. And in that way, and then as the horse goes forward with the nose, then you take the leg off and you just ride as per normal, but with very little leg. You want to be able to keep the horse straight. You know, focus on the straightness. You might ride your laterals a little straighter. And you want to always make sure you've got your inside hind leg engaged. You want to make sure you've got the whole back end of the horse engaged. So, you know, don't avoid your laterals, but make sure your horse is really, really straight. But yeah, you because your contact is going to be lighter, your seat has to, you know, do all the work instead. And that's the way it should be anyway. You know, your seat needs to be the contact point, the communication point, you know, that is where everything happens in terms of your aids. So, you know, to have a good seat, you need a strong core and your back, of course, is part of the seat. Yeah, so you need a strong core. If you're a wobbly kind of rider, you need to do more work on your core, and that means that your seat will be better and you don't have to use the reins for your aids, and therefore encouraging your horse to curl more. If you've got a curling horse, beware of using side reins that are too short. Beware of using bungees where that elastic happens. That can be, some horses are triggered by that, and some horses don't like the bungee, don't like that elasticity in the bungee. And some side reins have a bit too much elasticity in them as well. So if you've got a curler, if you've got a curler and you lunge, I probably wouldn't put anything on them. You know, work them in a way where they can feel that freedom and they can feel free to go forward. A curling horse, also, you want to think about the pole, the position of the pole and the position of the front end of the horse. You know, you want that horse coming up, you want that pole at the highest position. And I would be really fussy on that. As soon as the pole starts to drop, bring it back up. And make sure the horse is using its back end. You might need to do, small circles with that. You might need to leg yield off the wall and back onto the wall to achieve that. You might need to transition to halt and then transition to trot, and straight away. Keep that back end engaged, and because that's what keeps the pole up and the front end of the horse up. Okay, so they are your tips for your curling horse. Have any of these tips spoken to you? Do you think you'll use them in your training? Comment below if that might be the case. So don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe so that you can catch our videos straight away. I really appreciate your eyes and your ears. Thank you so much for commenting and asking questions and giving me your feedback. I'll see you for Pro Tip Tuesday next week. See you next time.